This video is sponsored by JustKampers Insurance. How's everyone enjoying this latest burst of winter, folks? We even had some here down in the south. A lot's been going on since our last episode, when we announced that we're thinking of changing the van. In this episode, we're going to respond to all the lovely comments and advice we've received. Keep watching to the end, and you'll see if you've changed our mind on any of our requirements. Welcome back to the channel. Make sure you hit that subscribe button.
Just thought we'd give you an update on how we're getting on with our research into whether we're going to change the van.
Yeah.
And we'd like to thank everybody for all your comments. We've had a lot to look through and hopefully we've replied to all of them.
Yeah, lots and lots of good advice coming in, lots of helpful experiences from different people, isn't it?
Yeah, it's always good to know how people are actually living with the vans that we're might consider buying.
Oh, we should point out that I have successfully managed to give my bug to Carol now, so apologies for that. And hopefully you won't go down.
I think I'm over the worst of it.
Yeah.
So it's gradually getting better.
I suppose it had to happen, didn't it?
Yeah.
So my turn to look after her now. Am I doing all right?
Very well. Yeah.
Right, so let's recap on what we said in the last video. I'll just quickly go through this. We were saying our requirements are social seating for 4, a pop top, max length 5 metres, pull down bed.
Headroom with the roof down.
Yeah.
Be able to fit under a 2.1 metre barrier. Possibility of fitting a Wallas stove and a diesel heater. And Remus blinds for the windows.
Right, okay, so that's where we left you, wasn't it? But obviously we've now taken on board a lot of things that people have been saying to us. And we're great believers in following advice. Few people are saying stay with what we got, aren't they?
Yeah, and must admit we were worried about how it would go down with the channel. If we change the van. And is the channel all about the little red camper or is it about us?
Well, yeah, that I must admit that was in my mind, but time will tell on that, won't it? Because at some point in the future we would have had to change that van. And I think when we actually set the channel up, calling it Life is Too Short, we had that in mind that, you know, if it was successful and it kept going, then...
Yeah, we deliberately didn't name it after the van because we knew at some point we would be changing the van.
In fact, actually, we didn't name the van, did we?
No.
But viewers named the van as the little red camper. And then I started saying that, you know, join us next time for more adventures in the little red camper. So I suppose that is its name, isn't it?
Yeah.
But we didn't name it because we didn't want to get too attached to the van, did we?
So that leads us on to, will the next van still be red?
Yeah, quite a few people have asked that, haven't they?
And ideally I think it would because red comes out very well on the videos, doesn't it? And especially drone shots. Yeah,
it really stands out in the drone shot. So if I'm trying to show you where we are, it's easy with the colour of our van, isn't it? Because instantaneously you can see that.
See it on the map.
In fact, I think it is the primary colour, isn't it, for drawing attention?
Yes.
Would we ever go away from red?
Well, there's the dilemma. Somebody suggested we have a look at Bilbo's campervans. So we've had a look on their website and they have some conversions for sale. And we were quite taken with the Bilbo Celex.
Yeah.
And they actually have one, a red one, for sale now. But the problem with it is it's what they call a start line rather than a high line, which means the actual cab is more basic, doesn't have all the some of the
bells and
extras,
yeah.
bells and whistles.
We think they've got a red one, a cherry red one, so that's
ideal.
Yeah. It looks very nice. And they've got a really nice grey one, but the cherry red doesn't have adaptive cruise control
and all the enhanced cab features.
Whereas the grey
one
does have that.
Yeah.
Now, we've got a Volvo XC60, so we're used to adaptive cruise control on that, aren't we?
It's very nice. But saying that, we never had it in the little red camper.
No.
It doesn't have anything like that.
So I'd be interested in your thoughts. What would you go for in that situation? Would you stick with the red, which is better for filming? Maybe, better for filming. Or go for the more luxurious, easy driving. And particularly as we're going to be going further afield.
Yes, hopefully exploring more into Europe.
Mainland Europe.
Yeah, longer driving distances.
Yeah.
To Scotland.
Finland, Sweden, maybe even over to Iceland at some point. Then, those little things might make a bit of a difference to us.
And then the other thing as well with the ones that...
Is that your belly rub? We haven't had any breakfast. I'm trying to be good.
It's nearly lunchtime.
Yeah.
Do we want automatic or manual? And again, is it a case of do you cut your nose off to spite your face? If they've got one already there, ready to buy, and it's automatic, but you wanted a manual...
My gut feeling would say I would go with a manual. Our car is automatic, so we're very familiar with driving automatics.
Yeah.
And I do accept they are exceptionally easy
to drive.
Yeah. But the MPG is slightly worse, isn't it? And also, you can have more problems with an automatic gearbox, and they're not necessarily as easy to fix as a manual.
They'll be more expensive.
Yeah.
And the car's not as easy to control as it is with a manual.
No. With a manual, you're totally in command of what gear you want to be in, when, and
gives you more pull away when you need it.
Hill braking, etc., etc. Yeah. I suppose if I had the ideal van at the moment, one was manual, one was automatic, I'd probably I'd pick the manual.
If you had the choice. And another thing we noticed with the Bilbo vans that they include a little grill, which thought might be something that's quite nice to have.
Yeah, because we can't really grill anything, can we, in the MV200?
No, we just have to use the Ridge Monkey.
You just have to burn it on the Ridge Monkey.
No, we don't normally.
We don't normally, no.
Yeah. But then you say that would be nice to have, but would it be the case that you've got this grill there and you might use it once on a trip to make some toast, and then you've lost all that cupboard space?
Yeah.
But then somebody did say they use their grill to keep their bread and cakes, so you could use it as a cupboard.
Yeah, that could be the saving grace for you, couldn't it?
Yeah.
A grill's not a showstopper. I'd rather it was an oven.
Yeah.
But there are other options for an oven, aren't there?
Yeah. We used to have a Ramoska in the caravan, which is
That's just like a 200-watt heated pan, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like a pan, but it fits into the mains electric supply and it heats up like an oven.
Going from the MV200 to the next size up is a massive increase in space to us, isn't it?
Yeah.
And the Bilbo has cupboards along the top, doesn't it?
As well. Yeah. And going back to the oven scenario as well, you've got the option of having an Omnia oven that quite a few people have, which is one that you cook on the gas ring.
Oh, it's that donut type thing.
And you see people on YouTube cooking all sorts of cakes and breads and things. And
I'll tell you what, the perfect thing that I would like to see in the van is like what Foresty Forest. He uses a Ninja Foodie. Now we've got a Ninja Foodie at home, so that's a pressure cooker, an oven, and an air fryer and a slow cooker. And I'd love one of those in a van, wouldn't you? I think they would be absolutely great. But you need really beefy electronics. Right, let me take over. Carol's just had a bit of a coughing fit, so she's just gone upstairs. I'm sure you noticed the sponsorship message at the beginning of this video. Very unusual for us. In fact, that's the very first sponsorship that we've accepted. We did make a promise to you that we would only ever accept sponsorships on products that we use, love, and are happy to support. We've been with Just Campers ever since we've had the van. So we're very pleased to say that Just Campers have agreed to sponsor this video, because we're at that time of year where we've got to renew. So we have fully comprehensive insurance. We have protected no claims bonus, key cover in the event we lose our keys or have a problem getting into the van, legal protection, and business use. We find them very easy to deal with. Thank goodness we haven't had to make a major claim. The only claim we've made on our policy was for a windscreen. We had a stone chip in the windscreen that was repaired, and that was all organised very, very quickly. But the most important thing we wanted from Just Campers was an agreed value on the van. So every year we have agreed with Just Campers how much we will be paid for the van in the event that it gets completely written off. And touch wood, we never have to make a claim. You do pay a small extra fee for that, and you have to submit photographic evidence of the condition of the vehicle, both inside and out, together with proof of the mileage. But we find having that agreed value really gives us peace of mind. So we have no hesitation at all in recommending Just Campers to you. We've been doing that ever since we've had the van. Within the comments of YouTube and people who email us, many of you have asked who we use as an insurer. So we've been recommending Just Campers right from the start without any payment. But we're really pleased that they've decided to sponsor this video. So thank you very much, Just Campers.
A few people have suggested Jerba for the Volkswagens.
Yeah.
So we had a look at them.
Jerba produce vans that would tick all of the boxes, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
All of the boxes, including the Wallas diesel heater.
Yeah.
So their vans look very, very good indeed. What's the downside?
We did ring them up and ask if we wanted to order one, what the waiting time would be, and they said 22 months.
22 months
to get a new one.
Yeah.
But to go to Jerba itself for like for servicing, they're up in Scotland.
We used to have an Jerba Campervan. Caravan, a tiny little. Well, we had 2 or 3 of them, didn't we?
2, yeah.
2
different.
Tiny little caravans. And then we had a problem one day with the roof.
No, it was a leak.
Oh, sorry, we had a leak in one of them. And the only place we could find that would look at that leak quickly was a place right up in Scotland, wasn't it?
Well, it was because the dealer we bought it from was in Lechlade.
Oh, Lechlade.
How do you pronounce it?
Yeah, that's
Lechlade.
Right. Lechlade.
And they closed down in Lechlade.
Yeah, so we were left high and dry.
And at the time, the only other dealer in the country that would deal with it was up near Edinburgh.
Yeah, we found all the others. There are other Jerba dealers down south, but they wouldn't help us.
Because we didn't buy it from them.
Because we didn't buy the van from them. They said, nope, can't help you. So we went to Scotland, and then we fell in love with a van in Scotland, didn't we?
A Heimer.
Pop-top caravan. And we bought it. And then we had troubles with that. And of course, we had to go backwards and forwards.
Up to Scotland to get anybody to deal with it.
We ended up, we had a real problem with the roof. The roof shattered, didn't it?
It had a lovely skylight roof, beautiful roof.
And it shattered.
Yeah.
And so we ended up having to put everything into storage. Do you remember? We broke off our trip, put everything into storage, and then took the caravan up there.
You had to leave it up with them to...
Now that company was, what were they called?
Jandy.
Yeah. They were very good company to deal with. They took it off us, fixed it, and then sold it for us, didn't they?
Yeah.
And it was brilliant.
Very good.
But we learned a lesson from that. We learned how important it is to be close to your dealer. And
that's the reason we went to Sussex Campervans.
That is exactly why we went to Sussex Campervans. And before that, we bought
Bailey caravan.
Well, several Bailey caravans we had from a local dealer, and then we had problems with Bailey and the axles and all sorts of grief we had, didn't we?
Yeah, but at least they were nearby.
They were nearby, so if you had a problem, you could get it sorted quickly. So, Jerba, long way from us. Not that I'm suggesting there are problems with their vans, but it's just a long way from us if we needed to get something seen to.
Yeah. And then as regards the Wallas, quite a few people have let us know their experiences from having a Wallas, and there have been mixed reviews. On the whole, they've been good.
Yeah.
And pretty much as we thought, that it would be slow to heat up.
Yeah. Some people saying that they don't heat up the floor of the van very much.
Yeah, some people have, or one person did say that they'd be no good for in the winter, that they wouldn't be able to provide enough heat.
But others
have said they're
think
fine.
the key thing there is how well insulated is your van,
and how big is your van, I suppose, as well.
If your van is well insulated, then I think they would easily cope.
Yeah.
Little camper vans don't tend to be that well insulated, do they? And of course, with a pop top, you've got a lot of leakage with a pop top.
Yeah. So we might be having second thoughts, and also getting the ability to be able to fit one retrospectively.
We've only found so far two manufacturers that fit them. One being Jerba, the other one being Auto Campers.
Oh, did they do them?
Auto Campers. I don't know if they still feature them on their website, but I know they used to feature them.
Right, I'm going to halt this video here because that's been an awful lot of us talking at you. There's plenty more to say, and we will be reviewing several of the other vehicles that you've recommended to us. So join us next time for more details on what we're considering for our next van. I'd just like to say a big thank you to JustKampers for sponsoring this video, and if you're interested in getting good quality insurance for your van, then check the link in the description.